Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. You can do the same at the Grizzly Gentleman for some fantastic beard products that'll make your beard look and smell great. You can also go to TCG Player using the affiliate link below and shop there to help support the show. And last but absolutely not least, go to greyvikinggames.com with the... What is up, Planeswalkers? Theric6 back with more Magic the Gathering Arena. It's Wednesday. Don't let anyone lie to you. It is absolutely Wednesday. Anyway, today we're going to be looking at some good old-fashioned anthology Bolas. I'm realizing I could just call this like Bolas's Command, because we are running Kolaghan's, Prismari, and Silumgar's Command. Now, you'll notice something in this deck that I try not to do with a lot of decks, and that's just the sheer amount of 2-ofs. Even in the sideboard, a lot more 1-ofs than I'm used to. Main reason for that is for this deck, I've tried to focus on flexibility and utility, and then the sideboard, I essentially focused on having cards that have overlaps, but are able to do other things, and we'll get to that when we get to the sideboard section. So, first things first, only 2 Bloodchief's Thirst. I think that there are a decent number of aggro decks out right now, where Bloodchief's Thirst does a really good job. It also does have some nice power against the later game planeswalkers and later game creatures. However, I'm only running 2 because I'm running so many other kind of low creature removal that I think that it should be sufficient. 2 Inquisition of Kozilek. This one is something that I was really unsure about. But the reason I ended up going with 2 Inquisition of Kozileks as opposed to Thoughtseize, or as opposed to just doing Thought Erasures, or doing like 4 Inquisitions and no Thought Erasures, is that I wanted to make sure that I had some amount of play in the early game, in like the turn 1 early game, against a number of decks, fast combo and fast aggro. So that's why I wanted to have this, but I still wanted to have some Thought Erasures, because later in the game, Thought Erasures are much better. They allow you to even do something if your opponent has nothing in hand. They allow you to make your top decks a little bit better, while also being decently early. You know, turn 2 is not too much different from turn 1. With 2 Search for Azcantas, with the mana base being what it is, the fact that we don't have the Grixis Triome, I felt that I couldn't afford to play either Castle Ventress or Castle Lochthwain. The deck does have a lot of need for both blue and black, a little bit less so on red, but the majority of the need is on blue and black. However, the need was such that I just didn't feel comfortable running those cards, which give you card advantage. So I decided to still run 2 Search for Azcantas. It's a little slow, do not get me wrong, but in a control mirror, this card is essentially the game changer, right? Being able to flip an Azcanta against an opposing control deck gives you so much play in the late game. 2 Heartless Acts. It's more removal. I ended up on Heartless Act just because I was looking at the meta. Eliminate is decent. I am still seeing a few Narsets here and there. Doomblade, there are too many decks that prominently feature black for me to find Doomblade worth running. And then Go for the Throat. Not a ton of legendary creatures, but the legendary creatures that are around just are too annoying. So I went with Heartless Act. This might change over time. 3 Expressive Iterations. This is one of the best cards that I have kept over from the Sorcery Speed Bolas deck. It just does like everything you want it to do. It's utterly fantastic. 3 Narsets. Still a lot of control, and even against not control, there are just so many decks that keep trying to draw a bunch of cards. This helps you against Phoenix decks, helps you against like the cantrip style aggro decks. It's just so nice to have, and she obviously allows us to get a lot of our things. We only have what, 5 main deck creatures, right? We have Bonecrusher Giants and Nicol Boluses, so she usually is going to be hitting. Speaking of Bonecrusher Giant, we have Bonecrusher Giant. I have kept this card in because of its flexibility, its versatility. It can be small creature removal, very helpful. It can be some reach against our opponent's face, or it can just be a pretty annoying card for control to deal with if they're trying to kill it in a more traditional manner. 2 Prismari Commands. I'm going to talk about these 2 cards essentially as being the same in 2 Kolaghan's Command. They have 2 things exactly the same. Deal 2 damage to any target. Destroy target artifact. Both of those things, essentially exactly the same. With Prismari Command, I can make a treasure. Cool. Relatively useful. Kolaghan's Command, I can return a creature card from my graveyard from the graveyard to my hand. We only have 5 creatures. However, getting them back can be very beneficial. That said, Kolaghan's Command is just a straight-up instant speed discard. Now, Prismari Command, technically, is a looting effect. Draw 2, then discard 2. And, you can choose yourself, draw 2, discard 2, whatever. If you have a Narset out, you can hit your opponent, which is just crisp. With Kolaghan's Command, you don't have to worry about having Narset out. If your opponent is in top deck mode, you can literally just, after they draw, but before they go into their main phase, force them to discard the card they just drew. If it's an instant, obviously, it's not going to be that effective, but you're forcing them to use it at potentially an inopportune time. So I really do like both of these cards. They both have various value in this deck, so hoping that they work out nicely. For what it's worth, Kolaghan's Command I do think is very slightly better in like more of a Mardu style deck that happens to run a few more creatures, but it could still even be control. But I think Mardu might be a little bit better place for it. Baleful Mastery works really nicely with Narset. They might not be able to draw if you have a Narset out, which is cool. Otherwise, it's just a good old-fashioned, easy to cast, 4-mana exile creature planeswalker. Nikki B, the Ravager. I talk about Bolas all the time. It's Bolas. 2 Crux of Fate. We have a dragon. This is not a dragon. Crux of Fate deals with the majority of things. I still would prefer a Damnation or even a Mutilate, because we do have a decent number of swamps in the deck. Whatever, this is what we have. 1 Silumgar's Commands. Now, I wanted to play more of these initially, but I couldn't justify it because I knew if we had a good 4-mana Wrath, I probably would be running 2 Silumgar's Command. Countering a non-creature spell, fantastic against control, can be fantastic against aggro as well if they're trying to finish you off. Return a permanent to its owner's hand. Fantastic. You'd be like, oh, you played this big creature, or maybe your opponent just has a big shark typhoon token that you have to get through. You can just bounce that, whatever. Target creature gets -2/-3 until end of turn. It's not the best, but if you're combining that with some of the other aspects of this, it can be very helpful. You bounce one of their big token creatures, and then you kill one of their smaller creatures, par exemple. And of course, you can just straight up destroy a planeswalker. Utterly fantastic. A lot better, obviously, against the control decks, but still has play against the aggressive ones. Hey, look, it's Nicol Bolas. Hey, look, it's Nicol Bolas. This is our mana base. Heavy to the blue and black. Still, our mana base is pretty decent. Sideboard. All right, we have 2 Thoughtseize. I hate this layout so much. We have 2 Thoughtseize. This is just for decks where we really need extra discard, particularly against combo. We have a Grafdigger's Cage. Helps against Collected Company. Helps against Phoenix-style decks. Helps against Reanimator-style decks. Helps against I think it helps against the Emergent Ultimatum deck. But I don't remember if that... No, I think those exile. I don't think they cast them from grave. Well, whatever. Weather Runestone does very similar, except now non-land permanents can be brought back. Necromentia. Look, I gotta have this card. It gets rid of very annoying things. You just play it against combo. Erebos Intervention is another graveyard hate card, but it also can come in against aggro. 2 Ashiok Dream Renders can come against the graveyard decks, but also is very helpful against the Search Your Library combo, the freaking Ultimatum combo. 2 Languish, helpful against aggro. 1 Cry, helpful against aggro. 1 Enter the God Eternals. Fun fact, it is very helpful against the aggressive decks. But it does have a little bit more, so it's a lot better against the more mid-rangey style decks. 2 Chandra, Awakened Inferno. This is just against control. Just point blank. Initially I had thought the 6 mana can't be countered, just destroys like their whole hand of non-creature stuff. But I realized, like, top deck, it's not great. Even if I play it, their hand might not be all that great. And not all of the control decks are really utilizing their graveyard. Some are, obviously, but not all of them are utilizing it to a point where I found it necessary. So I decided, let's throw in Chandra's. Chandra's a great top deck. She's fine in earlier parts of the game as well. The fact that she can't be countered is nice. So yeah, that's what I've decided, and let's hop into some games. I did play one game with this, and I did win, and it was against a Phoenix deck. Essentially against Phoenix, you just keep killing their stuff, and eventually they run out of cards. Because you don't, because you have commands that do multiple things. It does have Narsets, which are pretty helpful. Oh, right. I need to switch this back now that the College Cup is open. Seems good. I mean, like, castable, 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 castable. And this can get me my third land. I'm going second, which is meh. This is Kaladesh, it looks like. Alright. Well, I didn't want to do that. I tried to, like, unclick it. Damn it, I wanted to do that. Alright, let's see if they have a counter spiel. So, all ready to start. Going up against Jeskai Control. I do not care at all about Lightning Helix. Sphinx's Revelation can be annoying, but I think the card you get rid of is just the Teferi here. Yeah. I think I'll keep my Bolas on top. Yeah, Omen, it's fine. Put one on top, sure. Let's see. I think here... I'm just going to cast the Expressive Iteration. Awkward. One in my hand. So if I put the Bolas in my hand, I do have a backup Bolas for when they counter my Bolas. Baleful Mastery would give me an actual play against one of their Resolved Planeswalkers. We do have Bonecrusher Giant and one Bolas. I think I'm going to take the Baleful Mastery. I'm going to shuffle in Bolas and accept that as a loss, essentially. I've been through a large number of my deck at this point. I would very much like to draw another land. Scry there. Not terrible. Yeah, if I don't get another land, then we're in pretty deep crap. This is technically fine. Unless they counter it. Holy crap. Interesting. They could have done something to decide not to. Why do you have a snow-covered plains? If it's not a land, it's going away. That's just straight up. Well, it's a land, so library. Alright, cool. Play this, and we will pass. There's no way they rev for 2 here, right? They might Shark Typhoon? They rev for 2 here. Okay. I feel like they weren't under a lot of pressure. They could have kept that lasting a little bit longer. That's unfortunate, but I can just kill it with Baleful. And then hopefully draw land for this. Yeah, I think I have to start plussing Bolas, so I do think I want to utilize Baleful Mastery here.
You're gonna be sorry when I come back. No pressure.
I am under a clock, though. Gotta graveyard it. Yeah, I mean, that's why I had to do that, because I didn't actually draw my land. Four, 5. No, I think I just have to be sad and pass. This Jeskai Control deck looks a little bit more burny than the ones I'm used to. That's unfortunate.
Stay back. I'm an explosive.
Yeah, now I'm under a
Is it just
real
me,
clock.
or is it getting a little warm in here?
I have to dry land. I meant to hit Resolve Ball. I'm a bad player. I do not believe I can win. Do you want Thoughtseize? I want my own Chandras. I definitely want to get rid of Heartless Act. Crux of Fate, also probably not great. I'm gonna go with this. I do only run 25 lands in this version. But my mana thing said that this would be fine. Why must you lie to me, mana thing? Seems decent. Get an early search for Azcanta, Expressive Iteration on turn 3. Opponent mulliganed, quite nice. Mulliganed again, even better. You'll love to see it. Play a Summit. What are you looking at my Azcanta for? Are you going to bounce my Azcanta? Okay. I'll keep that on top. They might counter that. Alright, never mind. Choose one to put in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could give us a 6. I think I'm going to put this in hand. I'm going to put this into my library, and I'm going to play this. And yeah, then it's just going to be Bolas, Bolas, Bolas. Yeah, I'm fine having a Thoughtseize here. I am just going to cast this. Because they don't have blue-white up. So at the very least, we're going to get a 2-for-1 here. If they do remove my Bolas, they got rid of this, and whatever else they have to use to get rid of it. Okay. Don't know what's in my don't know what's in my opponent's hand. We're gonna find out though. I think I'm going to go to attacks first. Alright, they had nothing. That's just incredibly rude. That's fine. We're gonna go ahead and just take this out. There we go. Yep, cool. Alright, on to game 3. Let's hope that game 2, or game 3 is much more like game 2 than it was game 3. Did I see anything new? No. No, I did not. These are the only cards I've seen from them. Hilarious. Okay, what do I do? You know, I realize I'm a little quiet, so I'm going to boost myself a little bit. Hopefully that makes it a little better. I know I've been a little quiet for people, so try to get back there. I think this is fine. Yeah, I think this is fine as long as I'm hitting my land drops. I should be good. No. Bad hand. They mulliganed as well, which is nice. This is a good hand. I definitely keep this. You drop the God-Pharaoh. I will admit, technically speaking, I shouldn't be running God-Pharaoh. But you don't understand how hard it is to not run the coolest dragon in all of the multiverse. You don't play Iteration on 2. Play Iteration on 3. Yeah! Maybe I will find a, maybe I'll find a, nope, I didn't. Let's grab this, I guess. The thing is, I saw, like, nothing from my opponent's deck. I have no idea how many counterspells they're packing. Oh, man. I mean, I've got 4 or 5. The thing is, Chandra can't be countered. I'm gonna... Ah, man, I really don't know. I'm gonna go with the Chandra. I'm gonna put Bolas back in. Wait, am I able to submit 0 there? No, you have to exile one of them. Alright. I'm pretty sure the correct answer is just to cast this. If they counter it, they counter it. Neutralize, that's fine. Do I see a Teferi here? I do.
This isn't a... You know what? I'm not done.
I'm gonna pay life for this. Because they could have something that makes me pay 1. They didn't. Awesome. If I draw land, easy Chandra. If I don't draw land, less easy Narset. Or do we have Iteration here, actually? Iteration might be fine. Okay, so we're going to put a Bolas into our hand. We're going to shuffle this back in. We're going to play this. Do they get rid of our other Bolas? So now next turn I can play the Sharon. They counter another of our Bolas, but that's fine. Okay, they play a Chandra.
Ever see a volcano erupt in person?
Which is not great,
No pressure.
is the issue. So in this situation, I would have preferred Bolas. Man, this is not great.
I'm Chandra. The immolation. Hope it's not too hot for you.
I mean, we're like even right now.
No pressure.
Don't remove my Chandra. Okay, so they didn't remove my Chandra, which is helpful. Okay. Man, so my thought process here is deal 4 to my opponent's Chandra. I think I'm gonna try and force them to discard a card. I was considering getting back Nicol Bolas, but okay, they cycle Sweltering Suns. That's fine. I need to not see a Lightning Helix targeting my Chandra. Okay.
All right, let's do this thing.
Still need to see not a... Okay, that's fantastic. So now I can just -6 to get rid of their Chandra.
Good luck while I'm
And
gone.
essentially just hope that my Chandra sticks around at least one more turn to make the Chandra Exchange equivalent. Good thing this does not... Okay.
You're gonna be sorry when I
Definitely unfortunate. Prismari Command. Dang, I can't target them anymore. That's unfortunate.
Past, present, and future. Meditate and prepare.
It's all I could get, so. Draw 2, discard 2, do 2 damage to any target destroyed artifact. I think I'm just gonna get Bonecrusher Giant down. Try and beat them to death. Get 2 cards. Sure. All right, we'll activate Narset again. I don't love it. Don't get me wrong. 2, 3. I guess I'm just going to draw 2 and discard and make a treasure. At least attempt to. My opponent could have a counterspell. Well, gonna go and just discard these 2 cards. Because they are legitimately worthless. Play this. This can potentially get us really far ahead. I can pay for that. Don't play this. Alright, so I'm losing 2 a turn, but I'm potentially just drawing better. Oh, thank you so much. I definitely needed this. Can it be countered?
Let's make this quick.
Okay.
So
I'm still behind. And I do not believe I have a way to gain life. I'm fairly certain that I do not. But potentially, I can still kill my opponent. That's fine, dude. Fun fact, I have another one in my hand. But they're gonna keep getting additional ones. So I have 5. You can't draw though. That's good. Yikers, man. Okay, so they're on 3 now. Trying to figure out. So I could theoretically get Leyline of Sanctity, but that doesn't really matter. Guess I'm gonna Narset here. Keep this one, use this one.
No one can own your prowess.
Going through a lot of my deck here. If I activate this, I'll have 2 mana. I don't have anything instant speed. I'm just gonna activate it now. I'll take that, I guess. Okay, so I'm taking, go down to 5. So I go down to 5, then I go down to 3, then to 2. Sorry, then to 1.
Is it just me, or is it getting a little warm in here? Open mind.
I will spare you.
Aw, looks like someone's getting a little sweaty.
I should be able to win this. One of the fears is that they draw a Lightning Helix. Because unfortunately I can't stop that. If they have a Lightning Helix here, they do win. How many have we seen? I'll take this, I guess. 1. Oh, I do not like the fact that I've seen 1. So yeah, I die at any time.
No pressure.
Is there anything in my deck that could help me? Potentially God-Pharaoh. I could plus... No, that's target opponent. It's not an opponent, so Leyline of Sanctity would get around that. I think I need Silumgar's Command. Put this in my hand. Put that back in. Play that, I suppose. I've seen a lot of the deck, man. Yeah, I mean, it's legitimately Silumgar's Command. 6. So they die. They die before me here, so I think I do have to. I didn't think I'd draw a card. I think I look at the top 2, at the top 3. 4, apparently. Okay, Silumgar's Command. Fantastic. So this theoretically should seal it for me. I should just win. Let's see. Oh, God. Okay, so theoretically, I could counter that, bounce Leyline of Sanctity, and then Prismari Command on their upkeep. The issue is that leaves me potentially dead to a top-decked Lightning Helix. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I definitely have the 8 mana required to do that. I'm just trying to figure out, so they're going to gain 3, they're going to take 6, go down to, 9? Gain 3, 15, minus 6 is 9, yes. Are they going to go down to 9? I can put 2 more on them. Theoretically, I can still theoretically bounce in Prismari Command, so I think I do let this resolve. Because I need to just not die. Above everything else, I need to live. Okay. This would use 4. Can't do it.
Like someone's getting a little sweaty.
It's not enough mana, man. See, if I hadn't gone -2, I'd be at 6. Instead, I would be at 8. So theoretically, I could have won this turn if I had kept on going for the ultimate, but I just don't think that was correct. I think taking the safer line was a little bit better, considering we only saw 1 Lightning Helix. And we know our opponent has at least 2 in the deck. I guess I'm going to do this. And I do this only because I force my opponent to get rid of stuff. Oh, man. Okay. I need to hold there. So yeah, before they draw, I need to kill them. I really hope that the last card in their hand isn't a freaking Lightning Helix, dude. Okay. Like to counter target non-creature spell and a bounce. Counter this, bounce that. And then I would like to burn you to death, please. 2 damage. And they would draw 1 and discard both. They're tapped out. I should be fine, because they die in their upkeep. Oh my goodness me. And that right there, kids, that's how you Bolas. Oh, that was nail biting. But I can't bite my nails right now because I have them painted. I did it. However, it was against control. So that was a full 30-minute video. But I've been saving packs. I haven't been opening packs while I haven't been making videos. So I've been saving packs for all of you. And it just makes sense to open all of them now, after a triumphant Bolas video. Freaking eight strixhaven packs. Get stoked. Trash. Trash. By the way, I have no idea if the cards I'm talking about are trash. It's just fun to say. That's fine, to be honest. Yeah, trash. Ooh, Mystical Archive. What could it be? This should say Damnation. 2 black. Another Mystical Archive. That's whatever, it's fine. Yeah, sure. Oh, that was the first one I had, actually, so yeah, no, I'll definitely take that. And Hall of Oracle. Well. Let's see if there's any kind of brief thing to talk about after the game. As long as I drew the lands, the mana felt fine to me. I didn't seem to have any issues. We went against control, and we kind of just saw the power of the flexibility. The main issue is the fact that because the deck is flexible, there's so many lines that I have to run through my head like Bobby Brown on Coke. Is that a low blow? I don't care. Sideboard felt fine. I was worried that I had too much like graveyard hate and not enough against specifically control. I think a lot of the main deck has plenty against kind of aggro just because of how many things deal 2 damage in this deck. But so I think my aggro is fine, but the fact of the matter is, like, we did well against control. So yeah, I love where this deck started. Let me know if I've kind of overlooked anything. Once again, I will say this is how I make decks. Just all the stuff that I think is even reasonable. But yeah, that's today's video. It's Wednesday's Bolas video. Very glad to be back. Tomorrow isn't Thursday. Tomorrow actually doesn't exist. The day after tomorrow, though, that's absolutely Friday. And as we all know, Friday is Jund Light Day. Or Abzan Light Day. Whatever. I have a PO box. Feel free to send me things. I'll put them on the wall, or I'll open them on camera, whichever one makes the most sense. Obviously, I'm not going to put a note on the wall, nor am I going to... Well, no, I'd open a sword on camera. Essentially, what I'm asking is, please send me a sword. I'd like to thank my lovely patrons for their continued support. If you'd like to join them in supporting the show, you'll find links in the description down below. Of course, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Really does help out the show. And of course, until next time, all will be one.